Hey guys, I wanted to do a video to document our recent trip to Los Angeles to go to Paramount Pictures Studio, Universal Studios, and Disneyland. Well, we went in May of 2024, and Ray did a fantastic job the night before driving us through downtown Los Angeles to get to our hotel so we could be closer to everything. I'm a little too scared to do that myself. So here's our hotel. We had breakfast every morning here. And then we drove to Paramount Pictures, and you can see how high the gas was there. It's so expensive. This is just what some of California looked like, driving through the neighborhoods. You see they have a lot of houses up on the hills. It's just a different world from where we're from. We're from Mississippi, so California is definitely different. So we made our way to Paramount Pictures Studio to take the studio tour, and it was about $65 a person. And on the other side of the street, it was another $25 to park. So here we are arriving at Paramount Pictures and just taking some cheesy touristy pictures. And then we also took a lot of pictures of the flowers everywhere because they really spent a lot of money keeping the grounds up. It was really pretty. They did a great job. First thing they do when you arrive is they print out a 3D hologram ticket and give you a lanyard to put around your neck to kind of get you through the studio. And in their little lobby area, they have all these cool costumes from former TV shows and movies. And then they have some screens playing some old movies. And then they have about 5 Academy Awards in acrylic glass where you can kind of see those. You can't touch them, but you can see them. But these costumes you actually could touch. Like, they did not have a glass barrier around them, which kind of surprised me. But we had to wait there about maybe 15, 20 minutes before our tour began. And our tour group was pretty small. There were only 4 of us, Ray and myself, and then 2 ladies we met. But right before you get to the main tour, they let you hold 1 real Academy Award, and it's almost 9 pounds. It's pretty heavy, and you get to take your picture by this cool Paramount backdrop. You kind of get to walk the red carpet and feel like a celebrity for a moment. And here's the actual Oscar we got to hold for a few minutes. Here are our 2 tour guides. Brandon, it was his first day, and we were one of his first tours, so maybe he'll remember us. And we get on these little golf carts and they drive you all around the studio. We got to see the Paramount Water Tower. And then you get to see a lot of the famous buildings. And they would tell you the history of which executives worked there. I think Alfred Hitchcock was in one of them. And then they took us to the Paramount Gate, which was actually rumored to be very lucky if you touch it. You see it right there in the background of us. But we get a little bit closer after we leave the fountain. And here's the gate. And we did walk through it, and we did rub it for good luck. Now, they did tell us back in the early days, if you wanted to try to be a movie star, you would line up at this gate to be an extra in a movie and hope you got discovered. They also had one of the benches from the Forrest Gump movie that you could sit on and take pictures. And we just had a beautiful day here. The tour lasted about 2 hours. It drove us all around the studio. Here they have Paramount Pictures etched on their trash cans. That surprised us. They showed us some of their famous backdrops they have of the fronts of different cities. They're kind of hollow behind. And this brick building with a blue canopy was Lucille Ball's dressing room. And then if you look way behind the stage studios, we could see the Hollywood sign. Now here's our tour guide stopping at one of the many stops explaining the history of the lot and different buildings. And he would show us clips on his iPad of different things he wanted to point out to us. Now this is a parking lot, but it also holds water for their water movies. And then here we have the water tower again. It was just amazing. They used every inch of that lot. And then this was the prop studio. They had a lot of props from different movies. It was actually one of the highlights to see. We only got to really get out at 2 spots to really explore. We got out at the prop warehouse, and then they also took us to where they filmed the movie, no, not the movie, the TV show, The Rookie, and we got to go into that sound stage, but we weren't allowed to touch anything. Here I am in the prop studio with the teleporter from the Star Trek movie. And here's Optimus Prime from the Transformer movie. And I can't remember where these mushrooms are from. They told me maybe the Trolls movie. I'm not 100%. And this blue car was from that movie with Sandra Bullock, The Lost City. Now, this big hamburger car with the French fry windshield wipers was from Good Burger. I've never seen that movie, but seeing the car makes me want to see the movie. Now, there was just a little bit of everything in this props warehouse, and it was fun to see. And like I said, it was only $65 a person for this tour, and it was 2 hours. So there's not a whole lot of things you could do there where you're only spending like 30 something dollars an hour to have a good time and see things you would never see on a day-to-day basis. Well, our tour guides were young and fun, and they were just very welcoming and made sure we had a good time. They let us stay in there as long as we wanted to, just to get all kinds of pictures and just pose with them. They could tell you what you could touch and what you couldn't touch, but it was just a really fun time. We did have a lot of fun. After we left the Paramount Pictures tour, we jumped in the car and we were looking for a place I wanted to visit called C's Candy. So we ended up going to this place called The Grove, and we finally found the candy store. We bought a couple pieces of chocolate and got to experience all that fun. But it was like a wild goose chase for us to finally find the store. But all in all, it was a fun afternoon, and we ended our day by going to a place Ray likes called Shakey's. That was a place he had in the Philippines when he was a kid. And it's a big pizza parlor, and it was about $35 for us both to eat for potatoes and pizza and drinks, but it was so delicious, and it was just the perfect ending to a perfect day. So that's all of our day one, and you can find my next video coming up pretty soon for day 2 in Los Angeles. So just remember, life is short, and you need to travel and have as much fun as possible.